Hello, everybody. I am back. I've been gone for a while. I have been very sick with a cold that I guess is going around, and it starts with the throat, so I couldn't even speak, literally. So I took a week off of work, and then, but I know it's been a little over a week since I posted a video. I had a lot going on, like everybody does in their lives. But we are back, and I'm going to continue. I'm actually happy. Just got out of work. It's kind of late, a little tired, but no reason to not ever read the Bible. And I've been going to church too, obviously every Sunday, but I've been doing it through Zoom because I was sick, and I was trying to record the Zoom like through my screen recording, but it worked, but there was no audio. I think it has to do something with Zoom, so I'll figure that out later. Because the speeches are pretty good. But anyways, I'm going to continue here. I left off at Numbers, Numbers chapter 17. And today we are going to, and I hope everybody's doing good out there, by the way. But we're going to talk about Aaron's budded rod as sign. Duties of a priest and Levites, priestly allowances, covenant of salt, Levites to receive and to give a tenth, and so on and so forth. So let's get into it. We'll do a few chapters. Please follow along with your Bible or just watch the video. Numbers chapter 17. Mind my voice because I'm still getting over the sickness. Says, Jehovah now said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and take from them 1 rod for each paternal house, from the chieftains of each paternal house, rods in all, 12 rods in all. Write the name of each one on his rod. You should write Aaron's name on Levi's rod, because there is 1 rod for the head of each paternal house. Deposit the rods in the tent of meeting before the testimony, where I regularly present myself to you. And the rod of the man whom I choose will bud, and I will put a stop to the murmuring of the Israelites against me, which they are also murmuring against you. So Moses spoke to the Israelites, and all their chieftains gave him rods, a rod for each chieftain of a paternal house, 12 rods, and Aaron's rod was among their rods. Then Moses deposited the rods before Jehovah in the tent of meeting, testimony. On the next day, when Moses went into the tent of testimony, look, Aaron's rod for the house of Levi had budded and was bringing forth buds and blossoming flowers and bearing ripe almonds. Moses then brought out all the rods from before Jehovah to all the people of Israel. They looked at them, and each man took his own rod. Jehovah then said to Moses, put Aaron's rod back before the testimony as something to be kept for a sign to the sons of rebelliousness, so that their murmurings against that may cease, and so that they may not die. Moses immediately did just as Jehovah had commanded him. He did just so. The Israelites then said to Moses, now we will die. We will surely perish. We are all going to perish. Anyone who even comes close to Jehovah's tabernacle will die. Must we end up dying that way? Chapter 18. Jehovah then said to Aaron, you and your sons and your paternal house with you will be answerable for any error against the sanctuary, and you and your sons with you will be answerable for any error against your priesthood. Also bring near your brothers of the tribe of Levi, your ancestral tribe, so that they may join you and minister to you and your sons before the tent of testimony. They are to fulfill their responsibilities to you and to the entire tent. However, they may not come near the utensils of the holy place and the altar, so that neither they nor you may die. They will join you and carry out their responsibilities regarding the tent of meeting and all the service of the tent. And no unauthorized person may come near to you. You must carry out your responsibility toward the holy place and the altar, so that no further indignation may come against the people of Israel. I myself have taken your brothers, the Levites, from among the Israelites as a gift for you. They are given to Jehovah to care for the service of the tent of meeting. You and your sons are responsible for your priestly duties pertaining to the altar and what is inside the curtain, and you are to render this service. I have given the service of the priesthood as a gift to you, and any unauthorized person who approaches should be put to death." Jehovah spoke further to Aaron. "I myself put you in charge of the contributions made to me. I have given to you and to your sons a portion of all the holy things contributed by the Israelites as a permanent allowance. This will be yours out of the most holy offerings made by fire. Every offering they make, including their grain offering and their sin offering and their guilt offerings that they bring to me, it is something most holy for you and for your sons. In a most holy place you should eat it. Every male may eat it. It will be something holy to you. This also belongs to you, the gifts they contribute together with all the wave offerings of the Israelites. I have given them to you and your sons and your daughters with you as a permanent allowance. Everyone clean in your house may eat it. All the best of the oil and all the best of the new wine and the grain, their first fruits which they give to Jehovah, I give them to you. The first ripe fruits of everything from their land which they will bring to Jehovah will become yours. Everyone clean in your house may eat it. Every devoted thing in Israel should become yours. Every firstborn of all living things which they will present to Jehovah, whether man or animal, should become yours. However, you should without fail redeem the firstborn of mankind, and the firstborn of the unclean animals you should redeem. You should redeem it with the redemption price when it is a month old and up, by the estimated value of 5 silver shekels, according to the standard shekel of the holy place. It is 20 gerahs. Only the firstborn bull or first male lamb or firstborn goat you should not redeem. They are something holy. You should sprinkle their blood on the altar, and their fat you should make smoke as an offering made by fire for a pleasing aroma to Jehovah. And their flesh should become yours, like the breast of the wave offering and like the right leg, it should become yours. All the holy contributions that the Israelites will contribute to Jehovah, I have given to you and your sons and your daughters with you as a permanent allowance. It is a lasting covenant of salt before Jehovah for you and your offerings with you." Jehovah went on to say to Aaron, "In their land you will not have an inheritance, and no portion of land among them will become yours. I am your portion and your inheritance in the midst of the Israelites. Now see that I have given to the sons of Levi every 10th part in Israel as an inheritance in return for the service they are carrying out, the service of the tent of meeting. No longer may the people of Israel approach the tent of meeting, or else they will incur sin and die. The Levites themselves are to carry out the service of the tent of meeting, and they are the ones who will answer for their error. It is a lasting statute during all your generations that they should not take possession of an inheritance among the Israelites. For I have given to the Levites as an inheritance the 10th part contributed by the people of Israel, which they will contribute to Jehovah. That is why I have said to them, in the midst of the Israelites, they should not take possession of an inheritance." Then Jehovah said to Moses, "You should tell the Levites, you will receive from the Israelites the 10th part of I have given to you from them for your inheritance, and you should contribute from it a 10th part of the 10th part as a contribution to Jehovah. And it will be considered your contribution as though it were the grain of the threshing floor or the full production of the wine press or oil press. In this way, you will also give a contribution to Jehovah from all the 10th parts that you receive from the Israelites, and from them you are to give the contribution for Jehovah to Aaron and the priest. You will make every sort of contribution to Jehovah from the very best of all the gifts given to you as something holy. And you must say to them, When you contribute the best of them, then it will be considered for the Levites as the produce of the threshing floor and as the produce of the winepress or oil press. You and your household may eat it in any place, because it is your wages in return for your service at the tent of meeting. You will not incur sin in this as long as you contribute the best from them. And you must not profane the holy things of the Israelites, or you will die. Chapter 19. Jehovah spoke again to Moses and Aaron, saying, This is a statute of the law that Jehovah has commanded. Tell the Israelites that they should take for you a sound red cow in which there is no defect and upon which no yoke has come. You are to give it to Eleazar, the priest, and he will lead it outside the camp, and it will be slaughtered before him. Then Eleazar the priest will take some of its blood with his finger and spatter its blood 7 times straight toward the front of the tent of meeting. The cow will then be burned before his eyes. Its skin and its flesh and its blood, together with its dung, will be burned. And the priest will take cedar wood, hyssop, and scarlet material and throw them into the fire where the cow is being burned. The priest will then wash his garments and bathe himself in water, and afterward he may come into the camp, but the priest will be unclean until the evening. The one who burned the cow will wash his garments in water and bathe himself in water, and he will be unclean until the evening. A clean man will gather up the ashes of the cow and deposit them outside the camp in a clean place, and they should be kept by the assembly of the Israelites to prepare water that will be used for cleansing. It is a sin offering. The one gathering the ashes of the cow will wash his garments and be unclean until the evening. This will serve the Israelites and the foreigner who is residing in their midst as a lasting statute. Anyone touching any dead person will be unclean for 7 days. Such one should purify himself with the water on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he will be clean. But if he does not purify himself on the 3rd day, on the 7th day he will not be clean. Everyone who touches the corpse of any dead person and does not purify himself has defiled Jehovah's tabernacle, and that person must be cut off from Israel. Because the water for cleansing has not been sprinkled on him, he continues unclean. His uncleanness remains upon him. This is the law that applies when a man dies in a tent. Everyone who enters the tent and everyone who was already in the tent will become unclean for 7 days. Every open container with no lid tied on it is unclean. Everyone in that open field who touches someone killed with a sword or a corpse or the bone of a man or a burial place will be unclean for 7 days. They should take for the unclean one some of the ashes of the sin offering that was burned and pour running water on them in a container. Then a clean man will take hyssop and dip it into the water and spatter it on the tent and all of the containers and on the people who were there and on the one who touched the bone or the slain one or the corpse or the burial place. The clean person will splatter it on the unclean one on the 3rd day and on the 7th day, and he will purify him from sin on the 7th day. Then he should wash his garments and bathe in water, and he will become clean in the evening. But the man who is unclean and who will not purify himself, that person must be cut off from the congregation, because he has defiled Jehovah's sanctuary. The water for cleansing was not sprinkled on him, so he is unclean. This will serve as a lasting statute for them. The one spattering the water for cleansing should wash his garments, and the one touching the water for cleansing will be unclean until the evening. Anything the unclean one touches will be unclean, and the person who touches it will be unclean until the evening. Chapter 20. In the 1st month, the entire assembly of the Israelites came into the wilderness of Zin, and the people began dwelling in Kadesh. It was there that Miriam died and was buried. Now there was no water for the assembly, and they gathered together against Moses and Aaron. The people were quarreling with Moses, saying, "If only we had died before our brothers died before Jehovah. Why have you brought Jehovah's congregation into this wilderness for us and our livestock to die here? And why have you led us up out of Egypt to bring us into this evil place? It is no place for seed and figs and vines and pomegranates, and there is no water to drink." Then Moses and Aaron came from before the congregation to the entrance of the tent of meeting and fell with their faces to the ground, and Jehovah's glory began to appear to them. Then Jehovah said to Moses, "Take the rod and call the assembly together, you and Aaron and your brother, and speak to the crag before their eyes, that it may give its water, and you will bring out water from them from the crag, and give the assembly and their livestock something to drink." So Moses took the rod from before Jehovah, just as he had commanded him. Then Moses and Aaron called the congregation together before the crag, and he said to them, "Hear now, you rebels, must we bring out water for you from this crag?" With that, Moses lifted his hand up and struck the crag twice with his rod, and much water began to pour out, and the assembly and their livestock began to drink. Jehovah later said to Moses and Aaron, "Because you did not show faith in me and sanctify me before the eyes of the people of Israel, you will not bring this congregation into the land that I will give them. There are the waters of Medibah, where the Israelites quarreled with Jehovah, so that he was sanctified among them." Then Moses sent messengers from Kadesh to the king of Edom. "This is what your brother Israel says. You will know all the hardship that we have experienced. Our fathers went to Egypt, and we dwelled in Egypt many years, and the Egyptians mistreated us and our fathers. Finally we cried out to Jehovah, and he heard us, and sent an angel and brought us out of Egypt, and here we are in Kadesh, a city on the border of your territory. Please let us pass through your land. We will not pass through any field or vineyard, and we will not drink the water or any well. We will march on the king's road without turning to the right or the left until we pass through the territory." However, Edom said to him, "You may not pass through our territory. If you do, I will come with sword to meet you." In turn, the Israelites said to him, "By the highway we will go up, and if we and our livestock drink your water, we will pay for it. We want nothing more than to pass through on foot." Still he said, "You may not pass through." With Edom came out to encounter him with many people and a strong army. So Edom refused to allow Israel to pass through his territory. Therefore Israel turned away from him. The people of Israel, the entire assembly, departed from Kadesh and came to Mount Hor. Then Jehovah said to Moses and Aaron in Mount Hor by the border of the land of Edom, "Aaron will be gathered to his people. He will not enter the land that I will give to the Israelites, because you both rebelled against my order regarding the waters of Medibah. Take Aaron and his son Eleazar and bring them up into Mount Hor. Remove Aaron's garments and clothe Eleazar, his son, with them, and Aaron will die there." So Moses did just as Jehovah had commanded, and they climbed Mount Hor before the eyes of all the assembly. Then Moses removed Aaron's garments and clothed Eleazar, his son, with them. After that, Aaron died there on the top of the mountain, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain. When all the assembly saw that Aaron had died, the entire house of Israel wept for Aaron for 30 days. I'm going to pause it there, give my throat a little break. Interesting read. I mean, the drama continues with the Israelites. These people, it's absolutely insane, like everything that's been going on. Always complaining, always something wrong. I mean, what can I say? I guess it's no different from, our times. It's like, we're always complaining, we're always messing up. So it's like they say, history repeats itself. But interesting read. We'll start on Numbers chapter 21 on the next video. I'm glad I'm back, and I'm glad I did this. I was very tired after work, but I prayed, and I was like, I'm reading, and I'm putting a video out. So I hope you guys are all doing well out there. God bless you and your families. And I can't believe we're already in December. Like, share, subscribe. Please leave a comment. Love to chat with people. And thank you so much. See you on the next video.